With my 4-piece striker, there's that DPS number broken again. I'm rocking the FAMAS and an MP5 ST. Okay. I got 4-piece striker going. I got specialized backpack and savage gloves. On my 4-piece striker, I have this chest piece. Could be better. Again, this is to show that you still can make a build without the most optimized gear, still be competitive, and still make farming in 1.5 a little bit easier in tier 5. So my chest piece is rolled for armor and protection from elites and ammo capacity. Ideally, I want armor, health, and ammo capacity. But I can do pretty well with this for right now. As you can see, I'm rocking 289 DPS, 438,000 toughness, 103,000 skill power. My mask, 256 mask, rolled for firearms and health. Can't do much better than that, I do not believe. I mean, you can, but it is a pretty decent roll for a starter build. Knee pads, we're rocking 256 striker. We have armor, stamina, increased kill XP. Of course, I wish that was something different. Enemy armor damage, which is stellar, burn resistance. We are also rocking a 256 striker holster, rolled pretty decent across the board. That electronics number needs to be a little higher, and of course we rolled it for armor, as you should roll every holster that you have. Savage gloves, rolled for firearms. These are the ones, the god roll ones. You're getting to the end of the week, you might want to get these if you don't have them already. Again, I probably bought, I don't even know how many I bought of these gloves to be able to change them here and there for specific builds. I have it modded for assault rifle damage, crit hit damage, and crit hit chance. Specialized backpack, rolled for stamina. The stamina number could be higher, but I did have to roll armor on here, so the stamina number will have to do for now. As you can see, you still got some decent numbers with a average rolled piece of equipment. That stamina number could be up. Just takes farming to get something a little bit better there. I still have not decided what I wanted to do with striker in terms of a skill, so I do have it rolled on performance mods for seeker mine, pulse critical hit. That's just kind of like a storage thing. I have that in there just for strictly storage. I do have a performance mod for seeker mine damage here, as I think I would like to run this with a seeker mine, and seeker mine damage there. So the FAMAS, again, this is the FAMAS I run with other builds. It does not have any accuracy or stability mods rolled on it whatsoever. It's got destructive, unforgiving, and uncomplicated. I get that 15%, that pure 15%, because I do not have any mods on this weapon. However, the way to beat this is Striker's 2-piece bonus stability. 20% stability goes a long way, especially with the FAMAS. It makes it a little easier to deal with. And then of course you got the enemy armor damage, which is very good for PvE and PvP. And then a lot of people don't like the 4th piece, but I do. Added damage, especially on highly rated RPM weapons with very high RPM. You're stacking that damage rather quickly. This we used farming last night, and I was really impressed with the way that it went. We were farming the outer world bosses, saw some rogues on the map inside the DZ. And I said, hey, let's just go and give it a try. The squad went in there, and I absolutely melted 2 individuals. Now, keep in mind that, you know, people in the Dark Zone do not have the most optimized gear, but it was a little ridiculous the way I melted that individual, along with his friend, who tried to run away because he was the last survivor. You really shouldn't be going rogue if you don't have the gear to sustain yourself or at least be competitive. I don't know who they were killing, but those individuals were not competitive at all last night. You did send me a hate message last night. I am not a hacker. You just got melted by a FAMAS, and that's all there is to it. So if you see this video, please don't call me a hacker again. Just get your gear up. So that's what we're rocking right now. Again, 289, 438, and 103. Like I said, I'm not too sure what I want to do with this. I have it rolled for, or I have a Seeker Mine active right now, just to at least disorient enemies and things like that. I'm not real big on running like flame turrets and stuff like that, unless of course I'm running Firecrest. You know, my worst case scenario, I could switch to the old trusty shock turret, but I try to stay away from using that, especially now that the shotgunners are not as good as they think they are anymore. That was mostly to slow down shotgunners with their computer aim assist, most overpowered weapon in the history of video games, where they thought that they were actually something. I'm sure all of you know by now with my videos that I am completely anti-shotgun. I'm glad that that's going away. Hopefully it is going away. There were still some in 1.4. It's the cheapest thing in the world. And if you run it, you know, it's a free country. Run whatever you want. At least America's a free country. Run whatever you want. But don't think that you're something, because you're really nothing, especially in the 1.3 era. You had a computer aim for you. So I really don't want to hear it. Anyway, that's the striker build. I alternate depending on who I'm running with, certain conditions, whether I run a blue, tech ult, or a health, especially with this build, because it is kind of not deciding which direction I want to go with it in terms of skill, but in terms of raw damage, it is very, very, very good. I hear a lot of talk about Alpha Bridge. I'm working on an Alpha Bridge right now. I'm not a big Alpha Bridge guy, but I heard Alpha Bridge is supposed to be really, really good. I personally believe this may be the counter to Alpha Bridge, especially if you're running a FAMAS. That rate of fire is just ridiculous on the FAMAS, and if you're putting out a decent amount of damage or exceptional amount of damage once the build is maxed out, I don't see how Alpha Bridge can compete with the amount of damage you're going to put out. But I could be wrong, and the weeks will tell with the addition of 1.5. Now, my last videos I was showcasing, some basic NPC fighting, nothing special. Again, this is an average build, so as the other ones were, so I am not trying to float my ego at all and say, hey, look at me, I'm soloing 4-phase underground with this build or something. That is not the intention of this video. The intention of this video, again, as is the other ones, is to help the beginning 1.5 farmer at least have a little confidence that he's heading in the right direction, or she, in terms of their builds. I'm not here to put out maxed out builds. There's plenty of people doing that. I'm here to help the average player feel confident that they have a decent build where a little skill, a little PvP skill will be able to make you at least competitive. Sure, there are guys that are just going to absolutely melt you. That's just the way it goes. But at least you'd be competitive against the majority of players. Now, we are in here because Striker is a tad bit different, and I just want to showcase the damage that you are going to do. So we're all aware that Striker stacks damage based on hits that you accumulate on a specific target. So we'll start off with the MP5. I'm gonna go, and I'm rocking 33,000 as a crit hit. It's not that great, yes, I know. Striker is raw damage. Of course, that crit hit damage is going to rise with the bonus of Striker, as is non-crit hits. Can't seem to get one. There we go. 15, almost 16,000. Yes, there is room for improvement, but it is a good base point, as this video is intended to show, along with the others. Now, we are rocking, there's that broken DPS again, 231 with the MP5. Oh, let's put a clip in. Target. We're rising. We're 21 now, 22. We hit 22 and 54 on a crit. We go to our DPS. We are now doing 372 DPS with just one round, or one clip. One magazine, I should say. Military, I shouldn't be calling it clip. We don't like that. And that is 69 rounds, if my math is correct. I am not a mathematician, so don't hate. So we raised our DPS significantly. Let's wait until it goes down. Another thing, if you can see down below where it says what grenade I am using, you can see that it now indicates what your stacks are. So, you know, you basically either have a countdown, or you're looking at the number of stacks that you have on a specific target, and it gives you an indication as to where you are and what kind of damage you're going to be putting out on that target. I like that a lot. Okay, so we are all done. We are back to the FAMAS, where we can't decide if it's 251 or 289. And let's float our egos a little bit here, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll just say, hey, we got 289 DPS. Now, we're going to switch, and I'm going to show you why I just did that. And we're going to bounce off the target, and now we're going to shoot. So we went up to 26. Let's put it in 1. We're over 30. We're over, I don't know what that was. I thought I saw 70 for a crit hit damage. Now our DPS, 528,000. Do you see that, ladies and gentlemen? 528. Now, Alpha Bridge, this is not maxed out. Could you imagine if I had this maxed out? I believe this is going to be the counter to your DPS Alpha Bridge, guys. Again, I could be wrong. I am not a professional by any means. But that amount of damage going into a target at, you know, 943 RPM. Look at the base damage now, 24.9. Of course, it was higher when I was first done with the second magazine, but 24.9k damage. I can't see how you have 6 weapon talents that's gonna outdo that at that rate of fire. Now, if you're running a FAMAS with Alpha Bridge, maybe. I mean, that's something we could see, but I think a player with some decent skill or above average skill, I just don't think an Alpha Bridge player is going to be able to hang with you. But again, I could be wrong, and time will tell in 1.5. Please do not quote me on that. Please do not argue with me on that. It is just my opinion based on numbers. On paper, we do know that numbers on paper can be wrong. They said my team, the New York Jets, this year were going to be a competitive team, and anybody that follows football knows that is not true, and we're back to the same old New York Jets. Getting back to the division. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm a little salty about that. Getting back to the division. So our numbers are pretty decent flat across the board. Nothing spectacular. Sure, there are people putting out videos of 500k toughness. I'm gonna see how I can get to that. My Firecrest build and this have the highest toughness. I'm nowhere near 500. I don't see how I'm gonna get there, but we'll see. Going to the character screen, our weapon damage, you know, the FAMAS, I don't have a lot of crit hit chance or crit hit damage. That's going to be improved by weapon talents, if I can get them. Again, you have to be very careful with this FAMAS. I will not have anything on there for stability or accuracy. I want that extra 15% bonus. However, the damage that you're doing so fast, and you're stacking that damage with every round you're shooting, seems to, I apologize for getting the invitation. People don't leave me alone. It's just astronomical. Against NPCs yesterday in Clear Sky, it was unreal. It was really unreal. Another buddy of mine, he's probably my best friend on a personal note. He's running a striker build as well that I created for him, and we were just absolutely annihilating elite members. Even heavies were just, when we focus fired on them, they didn't last more than 10 seconds. So I'm really hopeful that this build is going to be a lot of fun, and it will be able to melt the upper class Alpha Bridge guys, because I do have a concern about Alpha Bridge in 1.5. One of the things I think that would help Alpha Bridge is that, and for you Alpha Bridge haters, please don't, I'm just trying to say, just to make it a little more even keel, I believe Massive needs to do a nerf, if you could say, or just an adjustment to where, in order for you to get all 6 bonuses, both weapons have to be of the same gear score. I just think Alpha Bridge is a little too OP, and perhaps adding something like that would make it a little more challenging, I should say, to create a build. Not much, but at least a little more challenging. Give it some type of a weakness. And I believe that's about all in terms of the striker. I mean, give it a try. I've seen videos post 1.5 launch and after 1.5 launch where people are running 4 striker, 2 sentry, 3 striker, 2 sentry, savage. If you're running a FAMAS, the accuracy makes no difference. Both my friend I just referred to with the striker build and myself both tried 2 pieces of sentry. Really all that happens is your reticle bloom is a little smaller. It doesn't help you at all with the weapon bouncing around. Now, how can you help that weapon bounce around if you're not the greatest of aim as I am? Very easily. We'll go to our talents. Again, most of my builds run, actually all of them I run adrenaline and triage. That's like number 1. For striker particularly, just to make myself a little more tanky, help me out with going face tanking and trying to out DPS a player or an NPC. I'm particularly using critical save here to just give me a little more toughness, but I'm using steady hands. Now, I referred to it earlier in the video that I will show you why I bounced into cover and bounced off. This is going to reduce your recoil by 25% for 10 seconds if you're not familiar with this. So, in essence, let's just take a look. We'll try to shoot this target over here. Again, my aim's not the greatest, people. It's my downfall. I'd probably have Frankie Eats stats if my aim was a little bit better. But burst fire, you know, this weapon is okay. It still bounces around a little bit. But if we enter into cover, we bounce off, it's a tad bit better. Now, if we go to the target here, let's just assume we're going to wait a little, 10 seconds. We're shooting, I'm compensating here. So now I enter the cover, I pop off. Doesn't seem to be proccing. And it is much better, as you can see. Again, we'll go take a look. Now our DPS is 530. So this is an interesting build if you're going to run the FAMAS. I'm sure there's other weapons that may be just as good if you don't like the FAMAS and the way it jumps around, or even if you mod it for some stability. It still does a decent amount of damage, even without the stability. And you can see this doesn't go down all that much. So while you're in the middle of a rogue fight, if you're making your shots, you know, you're good. Let's just say you're rolling around right now because you're on fire or something, and now you start shooting again. You're still putting out an extreme amount of damage, and now your DPS is again over 533. So it's an interesting build. I believe it works best with this FAMAS. I think this FAMAS has probably saved Striker. One of the other things that's very good for I have not tested it in PvP. I probably won't. But if we put on, where is it? There you are. If I put on the LG5, we'll let our DPS go down. We can watch our tank, our timer down here. We were using this yesterday in Dragon's Nest. Both of us were using this LMG in Dragon's Nest, and against the 4 horsemen, when we focus fired with both of these weapons, they just absolutely got destroyed as well, consistently adding to our shots. Again, I don't know how this, you know, using an LMG with Striker is going to work in a PvP format, because your players don't just stand still and come at you like a boss, unless they're not very, very good at PvP. Everybody's always moving around, so you're going to miss shots and things like that. If you're fighting off a manhunt and you're secure somewhere, yeah, perhaps, maybe. You're behind cover and you're just fighting the server, just trying to stay alive as long as you can. This may be an option for you. But when we shoot the target, you can see the damage is absolutely fine. We're over 32 now. I think I saw 80 as a crit hit. Sitting at 3. No, it was 59 as a crit hit. My apologies. I was a little above myself there. And then we go down to our DPS, and we're rocking 390 with the new LMG. So it's just a thought for PvP. This weapon does shred quite a bit. I don't have the best talents on this. I have another one that dropped for me. None of them really have good talents. This one is deadly, determined, and dominant. This I used on a Reclaimer build I made last night. Perhaps we'll get into that in a little bit. I'll make a video on that as well, but that still needs a lot of work, so that might hold off. But as you can see, you know, you're looking at this. It's a combat medic Reclaimer build. You could see why that would be beneficial here. Determined, dominant, especially if you hit attack ult, and deadly. I do like deadly there. Fierce, not so much, but deadly is still pretty decent. So there's the Striker build for you. Again, non-optimized pieces. You can still put out a product that can be competitive in a PvE format, or at least let you get inside the dark zone to start farming DZ5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and if you come across some agents trying to jack your stuff, at least you got a fighting chance, depending on how well equipped those individuals are. So this is Striker. again, a beginner's guide, or a beginner's build, I should say, to 1.5's launch. And of course, this build will get better in the meantime. There's my DPS again. I mean, 251, or is it 289 massive? Can somebody please tell me? And that is basically it for Striker, and I hope you all have a good day. Again, I play on PlayStation 4, as does my squad. We try to help each other out as much as we can. We try to help out other players that are trying to get better or trying to get back into the Dark Zone. Also, if you see us coming and you're getting spawn killed at a checkpoint, we're there to help you. We're going to help you take out them manhunts, take out them rogues, and we're going to leave. If you see us, you see my name, you look at the videos, you know, you can see who I play with. You see us come and we have a 19-second timer, don't try it. Don't try it. We came to help you. If we have a 19-second timer because we shot you by accident, we're not going to keep shooting you. We're just going after the rogues, and then we're going to leave and go about our business. We're there to help you. Don't turn around and go rogue on us. We've had that happen numerous times. We are decent people trying to keep this game alive and play it the right way. If you all haven't seen my video of me running solo in the Dark Zone prior to patch 1.5 launching, I had some players that decided to follow me around the map and 3v1 me. Take a look at that video. It's called You're Gonna Learn Today. I had quite a few friends on that server, and we expressed our displeasure for them following me around the map, trying to kill me. Had my last straw, tried to make it a little comical, and that indicates our values in this game, I should say. Yes, it is a video game, but it doesn't mean you need to be cheap. You got a solo player, stop chasing them around the map trying to kill them. What's the matter with you? You want to go rogue, don't spawn kill either. If you're going to spawn kill, give people a chance to get out of the choke point. If you're not good enough to fight somebody in the open, then don't spawn kill. Don't go rogue. That's all there is to it. Spawn killing is one of the cheapest things I've ever seen, and if we see spawn killers, we're coming after you. And if you take our squad out, that's fine, and you try to run it off, good luck to you, because we're going to be coming, and we're going to keep your timers up, and you're not going to make it. So don't spawn kill, and don't target a solo player. I can see you doing it one time just to get your rogue started to initiate some PvP, but don't follow them around the map, just killing them left and right. That's just wrong. But anyway, back to the Striker. I hope you all enjoy it. If you need some help farming, you can tell what my gamer tag is. You see me in the Dark Zone, I will try to help you as much as I can. We'll get you in our farming parties for 1.5. And try to help you out as much as possible. Like I said, if I get anybody in there that doesn't have optimized gear, regardless of what I get, unless it's a named weapon or one of these new named gear pieces, I will drop you everything I get. I will share with you everything I can get, even if I need it. I can always get it at a later date. I'm there to help anybody that I can, as most people in my squad are. So with that said, I wish you all the best. And y'all take care, and hope to see you in the Dark Zone.